these lines. That's all right. Hi guys, how's everybody tonight? Very good. Okay. All right, so I just moved to New York like a month ago, living with some very nice people. But anyway, so it's been like a month, and you know, had to get out of my house because my mother was being too Jewish on me. I'm 22 years old and I'm not married, and I don't have a child, so we're going down a slippery slope to failure. So you know, my mom really, she decided that, you know what, Michelle, like, you're just too picky. You're just too picky, and like, what are we gonna do about you? You really need to just, you know, lower your standards a little bit. So I'm like, I don't know about that. So she said, all right, I'm gonna pay for J date. Here we go. And I'm like, okay, wonderful. So she said, I'm going to pay for it, and you're going to go on 10 dates with 10 different guys, and if you don't like any of these guys, you're just too picky, and that's pretty much it for you. I'm like, okay. So I had a few interesting dates. I went out with a guy that was a serial killer, or I mean, like, at least he looked a lot like one. He had a huge staring problem. For example, sir, can you tell me about your day? You're me, I'm him. Let's go.
Well, I went to work this morning, and then and I ate lunch, and
yeah, that was a really bad Valentine's Day. I don't believe that chivalry is dead, but apparently a lot of people do. I once was going out with a guy, and I was at his house, and it takes like an hour to drive home. The next morning, I'm at home, and I get a phone call from him, and I'm like, oh my God, what a sweetie. He's calling to make sure that I got home okay and that I'm safe and sound. No, he was actually calling. He said, hey, Michelle, my 19-year-old sister really needs a fake ID. Would you mind giving her your license? Would you mind giving her your license and then going to the DMV and saying that you lost yours and you need a new one? Don't worry, we'll give you the money. I hate the DMV. So that relationship ended shortly after that. I went out with the only 6'2", brown-haired, blue-eyed hockey player Swedish Jew in the world, who apparently the Swedes, they like to get a little too serious too quickly. After our first date, he actually said to me, I don't know what's going on with you. You never seem to want to talk about us. The one date. So I'm like, all right, that's it for you. But I get a lot of dating advice from my family, especially from my 92-year-old grandmother, who's a character straight out of Seinfeld. She's like, honey, you don't want to date any schmageggies. No schmageggies. I'm like, I don't know what the hell a schmageggie is, but like, I definitely don't want to have anything to do with them. She's like, honey, you gotta be proud to introduce them to your friends and your family. Okay, thank you. My grandma's an interesting woman. I'm very liberal. I'm all, you know, gay marriage, all that good liberal stuff. And she actually one time was sitting with me playing cards, and she said to me, she goes, honey, what do you think about the marriage of the fags? Grandma, I'm okay with it. I'm okay. So, oh really? I don't know about this. So she also, one time she was finishing a meal, and she was walking back to her car, and she spotted a restaurant menu outside, you know, like the display menus, and she actually goes up to it, she whips out a permanent magic marker, and she writes on it, my friend ate here and your marinara sauce was too hot. On their actual menu. And I said, you know, like, Grandma, and she goes, honey, they need to know. She's a very honest woman. But anyway, that's my grandma. My grandma also has, thinks that I'm very upset about my height. She thinks I have an insecurity with my height, which isn't true at all, and I never said that to her, and I think we just one time maybe had a misunderstanding. I really think that one time I called her, I was leaving New York once, and I said, Grandma, I'm really, really upset that I'm leaving New York, and I, honest to God, think that she heard, Grandma, I'm very upset, I'm very, very short. And because of this entire snowball effect started, at my brother's wedding, everybody was coming up to me, they were like, oh, it's okay, I'm short too, you know, don't worry about it. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So then I had my 80-year-old cousin come up to me and she said, it's okay, honey. All that really matters is, you know, what's up here. I'm like, oh, shit. I said, well, you know, I don't really have that much up there. And she goes, it's okay, honey. All you need is a mouthful. So that was, you know, the highlight to the wedding of my perfect brother. But, you know, my brother is perfect. I'm not so perfect. Everybody's like, what are we going to do about Michelle? And they have a reason to be concerned because I tend to burn things down. And one time I forgot to add water to a bowl of Easy Mac, and I almost burned down my entire college dorm room. Also, the night that my brother got engaged, I thought that it would be fun to drink a lot of milk on a dare. You know the gallon challenge? You drink a gallon of milk in an hour? So I'm like, those idiots, I'm going to do a half a gallon. Turns out, half a gallon, just as bad. I was lying on the floor, it was a mess, so I'm like, okay, my brother calls to tell my parents that he got engaged, and then me, the wonder child, calls to say, oh my God, Mommy, I drank too much milk on a dare and my tummy hurts. Thanks, guys, I'm Michelle.
Kaplan, and keep clapping.
Oh, shoot.